What's up guys, it's Cheers here from ST Garage, and today we're going to be installing this Ford Racing differential cover on this guy's 2014 Mustang GT. Now I want you to remember this is compatible with any 8.8 solid axle equipped Mustang, and I'm going to let you take it over with the tools we need for this install.
Alright, so today we're going to be needing a 3/8 socket. We're going to have the socket sets along with the Allen keys. We're going to need some brake clean, and of course the fluid for the differential. We're going to need the torque wrench so we can torque down the cover and make sure it is, safe. We got the gasket right here and the provided bolts right here. These bolts do take the Allen keys, not the sockets, so that's why we're having these out. So I got these Rhino ramps right here I'm going to back up onto. You could either use these or you could jack up the car and hoist it up with jack stands. It all comes down to preference at that point. Alright, now that we had loosened all of the bolts with the ratchet, we're going to go ahead and take these off by hand. Remember, leave the top bolt in before you take off the cover. Alright, so, recorded a little late, but you stick a screwdriver in here to pry it open, let all the differential oil out. And then after all the oil is out, you can go ahead and loosen the top bolt and take off the cover. Now that most of the oil is out of the differential, we are going to go ahead and loosen and remove this top bolt. Alright, now that we got that top bolt removed, we can go ahead and remove the differential cover. Hand bar is going to get in the way a little bit, and we can go ahead and set this off to the side. What we're going to want to do now is we're going to want to take our shop towel and cover the differential. Just like that, just so when we spray brake clean, it's not going to get in the gears. All right, so now that we've taken off the
One more try.
Now that we have taken off the old cover, it is time to put on the new cover and the new gasket. So the bolts provided with the differential cover are going to be a 6 on the Allen socket. The fill plug is going to be a 9 on the Allen socket, and the drain is also going to be a 6 on the Allen socket. All right, so using the brake clean, you're gonna wanna wipe this off, make sure there is no contaminants that will get in between the seal and the cover, so you can have a nice and tight fitment, I guess. All right, so I'm just gonna make sure these washers are on the bolts before we do the install. This is a very important piece. You do not want to miss out on these. All right, so you want to make sure your seal is on, and once you got that lined up, you can go ahead and put the cover on like that. And once everything is good, you're going to want to go ahead and make sure the seal is lined up with the bolts, and once you got that done, you're just going to want to bolt it in, starting from the top, going around clockwise. Once you finally get that last bolt torqued down, you're going to want it around 20 to 25 foot-pounds, which is basically kind of as tight as you can get it with your hands. But now what we're going to do is we are going to loosen the fill plug that is up here and then fill it up with our differential oil. Before you put in the differential fluid, make sure you do torque down these bolts in the middle that help support your axle bearings. Once you get those nice and tight, then you can go ahead and fill in your differential. All right, so what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna cut the cap off of here, take it off, go ahead and take this off. When you do, you're gonna want some sort of pump. You can either have something like this, or you can just have a tube that attaches to here and you can like kind of squeeze it into the fill hole. And once you got it all filled up, then you're good to go. One thing I did forget to say is you don't have to cut the end off if you are using a pump like this. If you are just using some hosing, that's when you will want to cut this off so you can, squeeze all the differential oil into the differential. As you can see, I do have my little syringe pump with the tubing going into the fill pump, and we're slowly filling up the differential. I do recommend you use a thicker hose just because of how thick the oil is, it barely wants to go in the pump. So I do recommend a thicker hose. So I did end up getting a better pump. This goes directly into the quart, has a little pump right there, and then the rest goes into the fill line. All I gotta do is squeeze this blue thing right here, and it will take the fluid out of here and send it to the fill. Alright, now that you've filled up the 2.75 quarts of oil that the differential needs, I'm gonna go ahead and tighten up the fill plug to about as tight as the ratchet will go, just like that. Not too tight, not too loose.